Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher dump collapsed.
And principalities.
Hello and welcome to GhanaWeb's coverage of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations, and we are starting with a live commentary of the game between the Atlas Lions and the Black Stars of Ghana. The Black Stars are hoping to end Ghana's 40-year wait for an Afcon trophy, while Morocco are hoping that they will win their second Afcon trophy after 1976. My name is Joel Eshen, and today I'm doing the commentary with Perez Ezwakwa, senior journalist with GhanaWeb, and Imando Ayamga of Pause Ghana. Perez, good afternoon and thanks for joining me here.
Yes, thank you very much, Joel.
Yeah, we've seen the lineup already. Jojo, Joseph Walcott being imposed for the Black Stars. We've assessed the lineup from the two teams. What's your assessment so far and possible prediction for the game so that we start?
I think it's quite clear that Ghana is going for the offensive. If you look at the flanks, we have Kamaldeen and Pinto, two offensive-minded players. We're going to push the right back and left backs of Morocco so that we get enough space and exploit the flanks. So I feel we'll do more of a wing play. The Moroccans will equally try to dominate in the middle, but I feel we have a team solid enough to get us result today.
All right, so you can join us on all of our social media handles with the hashtag Afcon on GhanaWeb. Very soon we'll run you through the lineup for today, but the game will be officiated by referee Joshua Bundu from Botswana. He will be handling the game between the Black Stars and Atlas Lions of Morocco. He will be assisted by Khalid Hassani of Tunisia, and then Lesotho referee, and then Bedai Dahini from Mauritius, who will be handling this game for us. Hashtag Afcon on GhanaWeb. Let's go through the lineup. Perez, for the Black Stars, Joseph Walcott got the nod above the likes of Nordin Manaf with their shambolic performance in the friendly game against the Lions of Algeria. Then we have Andy Yadom, Baba Abdurrahman, Daniel Amate, and then Alexander Juku completing the back four for the Black Stars, while Baba Idrisu and Thomas Tepate will be the two base midfield for the Black Stars. Kamaldeen Sulemana, one of the poster boys for this Afcon. Jordan Ayew will be leading the attack alongside his brother and captain Dede Ayew, and then Joseph Pinto making his debut Afcon appearance. Paris.
I think it's a bit of the strongest lineup we could have come up with. You look at the game against Algeria, and it gives us a better idea of the kind of players we need for this game. Jonathan, that game, two goalkeepers is awful in that game as well. So clearly, Blue has those games. They have selected the players that he thinks are ready. I expected Fatal to start, especially on the right flank, to keep Hakimi in check, but Milo knows best. He's gone for a team. I feel that we play more of a one-man midfield with Thomas Partey advancing into the central attacking midfield position. So it's more of a 4-1 3-2 formation for the Black Stars, and I believe that team should be able to get us result today.
All right, so that's lineup for the Black Stars. Now, coach of Morocco, Haliovic, will be starting with a 3-4-3 formation, and goalkeeper Yassine Bounou of Sevilla will be in post for the Atlas Lions. Nayev, Agid, and alongside Saman from Ferencváros in Hungary will be completing the back three for the Atlas Lions. Roman Saiz of Wolves will be playing this time around as a defensive midfielder alongside Azindini Onai of Angers. Ashraf Hakimi, one of the poster boys for this tournament, will be playing his normal right wing back position alongside Salim Amala as the left back for the Atlas Lions. Now the players are already on the pitch, and then the Moroccans will be starting this game for us. Referee Joshua Bundu from Botswana gets us underway in Yaoundé for this game between the Atlas Lions of Morocco. Morocco playing for my left, and they will be scoring to my right from commentary position, whilst the Black Stars, wearing their usual white jersey, will be playing for my right and will be scoring on my left on commentary position. Presents a good opportunity for Morocco to redeem themselves from the underachievers tag that has been hanging on their necks for the past 46 years. 40 years for the Black Stars. The last time they won the trophy was when the legendary coach CK Jenfi led the team to win his third Afcon Cup of Nations in Libya 1982. You to take this free kick for Ghana. Quite surprising that he could have been in the line to try and get. Jordan takes the ball, trying to look for Thomas Partey, but his shot has been blocked. And Ghana will have another corner. In the space of 5 minutes, 2 corners for the Black Stars. The first one was wasted as goalkeeper Yassine Bounou got a tip of the ball from Joseph Pentu. Pentu will take this one too. Can count as many as 7 Black Star players. Kamaldeen Suleiman. Kamaldeen down the left side from the Ghanaian attack, trying to take the Moroccans by himself. Kamaldeen Suleiman.
I think he's a young guy blessed with a lot of skills, but he has to know when to hold on to the ball and when to release the ball. In this instance, he had options. He opted to go alone, and in the end, flubbed the opportunity. So he needs to know when to pass and when to take on players and when to release the ball.
I think Kamaldeen was hoping that he will get a foul, but Ghana once again getting all the set pieces. We've done 4 minutes of action, and Ghana will be taking their 3rd corner in the game. Joseph Penty will take this one to whips in the ball, and then the Moroccans defend, but the ball is still in play for the Black Stars. Alexander Jiku.
This is our 5th set piece in the opening 5 minutes, and nothing serious or nothing dangerous has come out of it. Not sure it's good enough.
Not sure it's good enough, and you can see Coach Miloban. Normally he doesn't smile, so it's nothing new. Ashraf Hakimi. Moroccans are yet to penetrate the goal area of the Black Stars. GhanaWeb Afcon coverage is being sponsored by Kempon Football Academy, and the Moroccans trying to penetrate the 18-yard box of the Black Stars, but Daniel Amate does his job by the clearance. Is still in the goal area of the Black Stars. Ashraf Hakimi trying to set up his teammate inside the goal area of the Black Stars, but Abdul Babaraman did well to defend that ball, but the Moroccans will have their first corner in the game.
Great show of strength and patience by Babaraman. We know what Hakimi is boast of. He's quite quick, can go past you with ease, but Babaraman was patient enough to allow him kick the ball and go for a corner. So it's a great display by Baba.
It's going to be a long day for Babaraman because Ashraf Hakimi is arguably one of the best right wing backs in the game. Sofiane Bouffard to take this corner for Algeria, whips in the ball and they get the connection, but the connection from Roman size of goes wide, and Ghana will have a welcome goal kick.
Not sure I was impressed with how we defended that corner. We had 2 Moroccan players who were completely on mark, who could have taken that chance. Look at that again. You don't have to do that in the Afcon.
Roman Size is the captain of this Moroccan side, and this is a Moroccan team who could afford to drop star player of Chelsea, Hakim Ziyech, from the game. And Perez, how would Ghanaians have even reacted to this news if Ghana had a player like Hakim Ziyech and Milovan decide to leave him behind for this Afcon?
I think it comes down to trying to keep discipline in the team, and enough Africans have a reputation for picking discipline over stars. They want him, he failed to comply, and the coach was like, your presence will be cancerous to my team, I can't keep you. And that's, for me, a good decision by the coach. It shows that you know what you're about, you're ready to stamp your feet on the ground to keep that no player is above the law.
It's Afcon on GhanaWeb, and it's being sponsored by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Gold Mineral Water. Try to get Ice Gold Mineral Water anywhere on the streets. No decent chance so far for the 2 teams. And Ghana started this campaign with the hashtag Break the 40. It's been 40 good years since Ghana last won the Afcon.
Not sure about my brother.
Likewise, the Moroccans, right after winning the Afcon in the 1976 edition, Morocco has been underachievers. They come with all the hype ahead of major competitions, but they barely made it past the quarter-final stage of the competition. Joseph Penty gets a good ball from Andy Yadon. Ghana trying to play behind the 3-back system. Kamaldeen Suleiman. Is going to be a tough day for Sami Imai of Ferencváros. Moroccans break away. Baba Idrisu wins a good ball for the Black Stars, and he has been fouled, and Ghana will have a defensive free kick.
You know, he's what you call the destroyer in the Black Stars. He's supposed to intercept and tackle. And on that occasion, he showed why he deserves a place in the starting team.
That was a good ball from Baba Idrisu, and he was fouled by Ashraf Hakimi. Ghana had lost 3 of their opening games in the history of the African Cup of Nations, losing 2 to the Super Eagles of Nigeria and losing the 2015 African Cup of Nations opening game to the Teranga Lions of Senegal. Senegal beat Ghana 2-1 in that particular game. Goalkeeper Joseph Walokoto. What a story for a young man who plays in the 4th division of English football. He's made 5 appearances for the Black Stars since being introduced by Coach Milovan Kamaldeen Sulemana. The Moroccans are not giving Kamaldeen the needed space that he wants.
I mean, it's early days here, but it's not quite shown that he's the kind of player that can take on Hakimi, you know, and make incursions in the penalty box of the Morocco. I'm not sure he's impressed me in the first 10 minutes.
The last time these 2 players met in the French League, it was a complete disaster for Ashraf Hakimi. Kamaldeen Sulemana was adjudged the best player in a game that had Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, and Neymar Jr. Ghana so far seems to be getting things right, winning all the 50-50 balls in the game. Daniel Amate surging forward, trying to find Jordan Ayew.
I think what we are doing is trying to press them and trying to recover the ball in their half. What I think we are not doing right is what to do with the ball. We get the ball and we seem to lose out on a couple of ideas. So that's what the players need to sort out. But so far we've done well.
And that was a poor pass from Thomas Partey, and the long ball from the gentleman wearing the jersey number 14 for the Atlas Lions of Morocco won trouble goalkeeper Joseph Walcott.
A player of Partey's caliber should be wary of these things. He shouldn't be giving away balls in such situations. Had he fired the ball right, that would have ended up in the post. He should be careful.
You don't make mistakes in a big game like this. Jordan, are you complaining to referee Bundo? But the referee is not having any of these complaints. Afcon on GhanaWeb, hashtag Afcon on GhanaWeb, and I'll read your messages for you. The game hasn't been intense like many pundits anticipated. Too many skepticism in this game. Moroccans playing a 3-4 formation, meaning that when they are defending, they defend with 5 men and they attack with 5 men. Black Stars in the normal 4-4-2 formation with Joseph Pinto and Kamaldeen Sulemana as the wingers in the game. Morocco gets a free kick. Amala wings in the ball. Game on temporary hold up because captain of the Black Stars, Andre Ayew, seemed to have clashed with Sami Mai, the virus defender. We passed the 10 minutes mark. Perez edging to 15 minutes, no goal so far, no decent chance from any of these 2 sides.
I think it's been a positive display from the Black Stars. We've heard the Moroccans. What we are not doing right is how to create chances and score the goals. And that has been the problem. with the Black Stars team since the days of Sika Kono. So we need to convert the possession into chances. We need to penetrate their defense and make sure we cause them headaches. We are not doing that, and that's what we must start doing. So far, it's been a positive display, but you need to make the possession count.
We definitely have to make the possession count, but now we have to defend a set piece just about 80 meters from the Ghanaian 18-yard box. Amran Loza will take this one, whips this one in with the left leg, but Andre Dedeayu does his job as the leader, captain of the team, to clear that ball with a header, but the Moroccans will have an advantage corner. Andre Dedeayu, he has played more minutes than any other player in this Africa Cup of Nations. He made his debut in the Black Stars in the 2008 when Ghana hosted the tournament. He played in the semi-finals when Ghana lost to Cameroon. Baba Idrisu and Thomas Tepate so far, they've been controlling the game for the Black Stars, not allowing the four-man midfield of the Moroccans to dominate the game.
I mean, this is a Thomas Partey that, held Manchester City side and controlled the game. So we shouldn't expect less of him when it comes to the Black Stars. Oftentimes he delivers and scores for us, and we just hope that today he scores again for the Ghana.
We just hope that Thomas will get a goal for the Black Stars. But don't forget that this is the 100th game of the Black Stars in the history of the African Cup of Nations. Only Egypt, 7 times winners, have this record to their name. Referee Bundo issuing the first yellow card in the game to Alexander Jiku.
I mean, that would be a headache to Coach Levan, right? But you wouldn't want one of your centre backs to take a yellow card in the opening, half of any game, and that's quite bad for Jiku. I just hope that he'll be able to control himself, compose himself well, and prevent a red card in this game. We need him because Jonathan Mensah's form is not too good. So we need him to keep patience and do the ball well.
And that was a loose ball from Kamal Dean, and the Moroccans were attacking in numbers. And then Alexander Jiku needed to foul Abubakar to prevent the Moroccans from encroaching the 18-yard box of the Black Stars. Moroccans now having the set pieces you don't want them to have, because they are very good when it comes to dead balls. Andre Dedeayu issuing instructions to his teammate on how to defend this free kick. Have Ashraf Hakimi of Paris Saint-Germain and Amran Luzan taking all the set pieces in the absence of Hakim Ziyech. The Roman size of Wolves fouls Baba Idrisu means Ghana will have an advantage goal kicking. Time for the Black Stars to re-strategize on their approach. The Moroccans have dominating the game. They've been dominating the game in the past 5 minutes, taking total control from the Black Stars.
I think they are getting into the game gradually. What we need to do is that our midfield of Partey and Baba Idrisu need to step up their game a bit. Try to control those passes and make sure that they don't get to our center, because so far looks like the partnership between Amati and Jiku, there seems to be some rockiness in between them, so we need to keep that in check.
We are live at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in Yaoundé, and Jordan Ayew in attack and goalkeeper Yashin Bono. That's what to prevent Jordan Ayew from getting that ball. And that was a good pass from Daniel Amati, the sort of long balls the Ghanaians have been waiting for.
I think Jordan expected Saiz to clear that ball. Fortunately for Ghana, he missed, but the goalkeeper was off his line quite early to make sure that he covers everything and ensures that Ghana does not get a goal.
Jordan Ayew made his Black Stars debut in the 2010 tournament, which was hosted by Angola. The Black Stars were in the finals, only to lose by a long goal to the Pharaohs of Egypt. Jordan has made 73 appearances for the national team and has scored 18 goals. Ashraf Hakimi loses possession to Kamaldeen. Kamaldeen trying to encroach the penalty box. Kamaldeen, but that was a good clearance from Roman side.
I think on this occasion, I have to commend Kamaldeen. He had no option. The day you had run in full, so he had to go alone. And thankfully, he had a corner from it, so we are lucky.
Kamaldeen Sulemana, you don't want to give him a space. He has been doing it to all the top defenders in the Europe Elite League. He's been tagged as the next big thing in Ghana football. The Black Stars are making their 23rd appearance in the Cup of Nations, the most after Egypt, who have 25 appearances, and Ivory Coast, 24 appearances. The Black Stars won 4 trophies in their maiden 7 appearances in the Cup of Nations, but they are yet to win a trophy in their last 15 edition, being in the final 3 times, losing to Ivory Coast in 1992, when Ghana had all the big stars in world football and African football. 2010, they lost to Egypt, and 2015, after taking a 2-goal lead in a penalty shootout, Ghana still bottled it for the Ivorians to bounce back to win their 2nd Afcon trophy. Free kick for Ghana around the 18-yard box of the Moroccans at the left side of the Ghanaian attack. Joseph Pinto and Babaraman. Babaraman whips in the ball. That's a ball you don't expect from an experienced player like Babaraman.
And that's pretty awful. I mean, you don't, a perfect opportunity and you waste it in such a manner. Not good enough, honestly.
It's still goalless in Yaoundé. And when we talk about the Atlas Lions of Morocco, they are always favorites when we are starting Afcon tournament. But their only success in African football was in 1976 when they won their maiden trophy. It's been 46 years after Morocco's first victory in a Cup of Nations, and they are still waiting. For the past 6 editions of the African Cup of Nations, they have barely made it to the quarter-final stage of the campaign. "22 minutes of action and it's still goalless between the two teams. The GhanaWeb Afcon coverage is sponsored by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Gold Mineral Water. See the Ghana supporters in their usual red, gold, green jerseys.
I mean, Pinto seemed to be protesting about, I think, his shots. The technical team will have to sort that out so that he gets the comfortability he desires to play for the team.
Jordan, are you taking all the set pieces when he's supposed to be in the box and probably wait? Jordan taking all the long set pieces? But the Moroccans have defended the set piece, and Andy Yado wins the ball back just around the 18-yard box of the Moroccans. Andy Yado holding the ball, finds captain Andrew Dedeayu. And that was a very poor ball from Alexander Djiku, who is also making his debut appearance in the African Cup of Nations.
You know, defenders are not known to be good passers of the ball, so on this occasion we would want to pardon him, but he should have done better with that particular pass.
Game on temporary hold up Of course, Baba Idrisu clashed with Nigerian Sofiane Bouffa, who plays for Angers in the French league. And since 2008, Ghana's Andre Ayew has played more minutes. That's 2,474 minutes than any other player in the ongoing Africa Cup of Nations. He's Ghana's lead scorer in the tournament with 9 goals, having scored in each of his last 5 Afcon participations. He has scored more goals than his dad, the Maestro. But the Maestro won the trophy with Ghana in 1982 as a teenager. So Andre Ayew is hoping to replicate what his dad did for the Black Stars.
It feels like maybe yesterday when Andre was introduced to the Black Stars in the 2008 Afcon, he came in and wowed all of us with his goals, but I'm not sure he's been able to go to the limit that we all expected of him. We all thought he was the next Abedi Pele, but so far he's had a rough career. I just hope that on this particular occasion where he's our captain, he'll be able to man up and win.
Erade Kasa. Yes, the Lord will have to speak. As some people are saying, God bless our homeland Ghana and make the Black Stars strong. All the preparations we've done, with news about $25 million budget for the Afcon and the FIFA World Cup, the Black Stars definitely have to show the Ghanaians why they merit $25 million. And for a lot of people who are watching the game, they will be measuring the performance of the Black Stars with the budget of the Afcon, which as it stands now, only few Ghanaians know the exact budget we are using for this tournament.
I think it's one of the few occasions where we've gone into a tournament and money or bonuses for the Black Stars is not the main issue. And you would want to credit the ministry or whoever is in charge for making sure that we keep these things under wraps and focus on the game itself. I just hope that the players who show up and play in a way that will make Ghanaians proud.
Ghanaians are hoping that for the first time in 40 years, Ghanaians will be able to enjoy success in football. And just like President Akufo-Addo said in his message for the team ahead of their trip to Cameroon, every Ghanaian wants the Black Stars to win every tournament, but they should put the pressure behind them and use it as a motivation factor for the competition.
And according to the stats, over 65% of Ghanaians haven't seen the Black Stars lift a trophy before, and I'm sure all of us will want to see Andre Ayew and his charges at least lift this trophy before maybe we descend to the other side of the world.
Over 65% of Ghanaians, that includes me and my co-commentator Perez. The only Afcon trophy we've seen, we saw it on TV when the Black Stars won the 1982 edition and they went to see Chairman Rawlings, the late Jerry John Rawlings, who was then the head of state of the Republic of Ghana in 1982. Ghana had the likes of Mohamed Polu, Golden Boy Abdul Razak, George Al-Hassan of Great Olympics, Abedi Ayew Pele as a young boy. But we had to work for that particular victory in 1982. Thomas Tepati fighting for his motherland. Andre Ayew.
I mean, I'm not sure the game has lived up to the billing. This is the headline for Group C. These are two teams who are likely to win the tournament, and we expect some excitement or some inspiration in the game. I think so far the game is bereft of such excitement. I just hope that as the game wears on, especially from the Ghanaian perspective, the likes of Kamaldeen, Ayew and their likes will show up, will man up and get us more excitement. So far it's been kind of boring, lackluster sort of.
It's been boring as described by Perez, but I think both teams are being careful because they've been tipped to qualify out of Group C, but you don't want to underrate Gabon with their leading man, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who is ready to prove a point in the Afcon. And then we have newcomers, Comoros, also in Group C. And perhaps the last time we had a newcomer in the Afcon, that was in 2019 in Egypt. We saw what Madagascar did.
I think if you read about the Madagascar story, they had how their evolution, their development. Not sure you can say same about Comoros. I'm not writing them off, but Madagascar had history. They had the CAF president behind them. They invested hugely in their football. I've been reading about Comoros. Not sure that's the kind of vibe or that's the kind of insight I get from their preparation to the Afcon.
And also in Group B, Senegal won their first game with an injury time penalty. Sadio Mane scored from the spot. But the game between Guinea and Malawi is still goalless, 31 minutes done. And it's the same here in Yaoundé between Ghana and Morocco. Kamaldeen Suleiman, having had the needed space he wanted in this game, the Moroccans are always closing him up with 2-3 men. That was a good skill from Babaraman and Kamaldeen. Jordan Ayew. Jordan has been fouled and Ghana will have another chance at goal again.
I mean, it's a good interplay between Jordan Ayew and Kamaldeen. These are some of the moments where you expect Jordan to show off some strength and pull the game through, because Andre Ayew had run off. He just needed to lay the pass to him, but as usual of Jordan, he fell and the referee went for free kick.
Ghana winning all the set pieces in the game, but we are yet to hit a ball on target. Goalkeeper Yashin Bunu and Joseph Walcott have barely been involved in this game aside goal kicks. But Yashin Bunu will face Thomas Partey this time around. And Ghanaians will remember Thomas Partey's free kick goal in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Can Partey do it again from the same spot? Partey goes for a long one, but misses the pole by inches. Goalkeeper Yashin Bunu.
I think so far this is the best set piece we've taken, and it tells you the caliber of player Thomas Partey is. Hopefully we get more, and he kicks more of them and converts some of these goals.
Thomas Partey started his club career with Tema Youth before moving to Spain. Partey made his appearance for the Black Stars in 2016. He has scored 12 goals in 33 appearances. Deputy captain of the Black Stars, hoping to lead by example in the midfield, whilst Captain Andre Ayew leads up front alongside his brother Jordan. The Moroccans have resorted to using long balls. Ashraf Hakimi is being surrounded by 2 Ghanaian players. Back to Roman Saiz playing as a defensive midfielder. That was a good skill for Morocco, and short ago. But that's nowhere near Joseph Walcott. But that was a good skill.
I mean, the turn, the control. He couldn't get the drive on point, but you have to admire, you have to appreciate what he tried doing. Ghanaian, our midfielders should be able to cover the defense line, make sure that such balls do not get to our area.
That was a good skill from Amara, who is playing as a left wing back for the Atlas Lions. He plays in the Belgium League for Standard Liège. Daniel Amati. So far, so good. Babaraman is having a good game. Alexander Juku.
I think what the Blasters is lacking now is that player with a gift to be able to dribble in the middle, create spaces, and lay the ball for the forward line. We have Fatal Isako on the bench. Maybe it's too early to bring him on, but I think it's an option that Milo will have to consider if the result stays safe.
Are we missing Mohamed Kudus?
I think so. I think we are missing his skills. We are missing his passes. We are missing his runs. I expected Thomas Partey to do more of that, but not sure. Aside the first 5 minutes where he gave me signs of that, not sure he's been able to do that in the last 20 minutes.
35 minutes of action in Yaoundé, and the Moroccans are leading in terms of possession, 62%, 38% for Ghana. Goal attempt 3 for Morocco, 1 for Ghana. And no shots on target for the Black Stars.
And it shows you how blunt or how impotent we've been when it comes to the forward line. We are playing well, we are passing quite well in the middle. What is left for us to do now is to
Thomas
create chances.
Tepate going with some drive, finds Baba Idrisu, just around Kamaldeen Suleiman. Kamaldeen being attacked by Ashraf Hakimi, but Kamaldeen tries to keep the ball still in play, but the Moroccans regain possession, and now they are using the long balls again. Buffar, and he fouls Daniel Amate, who made a good interception to prevent the AZ Arkaman striker Zakaria Abuka from attacking that particular ball.
But that was a brave one from Daniel Amati. He had to throw himself in and ensure that he intercepted the ball before the Moroccan gets to win. And I think he did well on that occasion.
Ghana have won 10 games of their opening matches in Afcon history, but they've lost 3, and 2 of them came against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. You can remember the 2000 edition when Ghana didn't qualify from their group. They lost the first game to the Super Eagles by a lone goal. And in 2015, Equatorial Guinea, Ghana lost 2-1 to the Teranga Lions of Senegal. But the Black Stars, as stated by Andrew Dedeayu, they are willing to die on the pitch to make sure that Ghanaians get the kind of satisfaction they want in the game.
I have always said that you don't need the best of players to win the Afcon. You need a team of committed players. And if the Black Stars are committed enough and hungry enough to win the Afcon, I think we can do it. Let's hope that they put into action the words of Andrew Dedayu.
Moroccans dominating the game, as many predicted. But they are only dominating the game with no threats to the Ghanaian pole. Jordan Ayew is having a tough time in this game. And Roma Inside is one of the best defenders in the English Premier League. You saw what he did to Romelu Lukaku when Chelsea drew goalless with Wolves. And so far, he has kept Jordan Ayew in his pocket. The Moroccans attacking Thomas Tepati. Fouls. Sofiane Buffar. And this time around is going to be a very dangerous free kick for the Black Stars. The free kick is about 3 meters from the Ghanaian box. And would have been dangerous if Buffar had entered the box.
You know, he dribbled Thomas Partey, and the Arsenal midfielder had no other option than to bring him down before he enters the penalty box and cause havoc. Let's just hope, or let's just pray that from a Ghanaian perspective, this free kick does not end up, you know, at the back of the net, because Buffal has a reputation for being one of the best set piece takers, quite tricky, quite pacey, but on that occasion, Thomas Partey had to take one for the team, as we say in football.
Buffal will take this one. He's one of the free kick experts in the Moroccan team, and he's in a good position to score. Andrew Ayew, as usual, directing his teammate where to stand. Bufar to take this one with the left foot. Bufar wakes in the ball. But the connection from Roman Size goes away. And goalkeeper Joseph Walcott can't breathe again. See? And that was a good ball. It was going straight at Walcott. But Roman Size decided that he will connect the ball with the head, but it goes off targets, and Ghana will have an advantage goal kick.
I'm a bit surprised we decided to allow Barbara Man, looking at his figure, to match a towering figure like Roman Size. That's a mismatch on any day.
And Jojo Walcott with his loose controls again. We saw many of these incidents in the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And Jojo Walcott should be careful, because Ghanaians don't usually forgive when you commit these type of blunders in the game. And when in the game, he can go and ask Sami Kufuor, who is in the camp of the Black Stars. He did a mistake like that in the 2006 FIFA World Cup against Italy. And in the next two games against Czech Republic and the United States, he sat comfortably at the bench whilst Kim Faisal defender Sheila Iliasu was playing.
Now I remember the one Issa Ahmed did in the 2006 Afcon. After he scored that one goal, Sami Ajay just looked at him and said, "Oh, Issa," and that was the end of Issa Ahmed for the Black Stars. He never played for Ghana again.
Goalkeeper Joseph Walcott, many will say he's the best we have so far, because we saw what the two other goalkeepers did in the friendly game against the defending champions, Desert Foxes of Algeria, shipping in goals left, right, center. So he has been given the nod over Richard Atta of Accra has the vote. Ghanaians are going again. Ghana, 4 times champion and the 3rd most successful country in the history of the African Cup. Egypt with 7 trophies. Teranga Lions of Cameroon, their victory in the 2017 edition. And that was some sort of miscommunication between Thomas Tepate and Andy Yadon, who plays in the English Championship for Reading.
Baba Idrisu once again the culprit of a faulty pass. A midfielder who plays in the Spanish, second tier division should not be giving such passes. He should be doing better.
Alexander Jiku at the back for the Black Stars, trying to look for Jordan Ayew with a long ball, but Roman Size clears the ball, and the ball is back to Bufar, loses to Andrew Ayew. Andrew Ayew finds Joseph Pinto at the right side of the Ghanaian attack. Joseph Pinto trying to take all the defenders and shoot at goal. That was a good effort from Joseph Pinto, but the ball goes way off target. The idea was good. The decision to take the players by himself, Joseph Pinto, but referee Bundu is not having any of it. Is he going to check the VAR? Moroccans are going. That was a good ball to Ashraf Hakimi. Beautiful control. And he go past his marker, Kamaldeen Sulemana. And that's the end of the first 45 minutes at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium in the Yaoundé between the Black Stars of Ghana and the Atlas Lions of Morocco. That is the penalty incident. And Perez, it was a clear foul.
I think it was. He had the man, not the ball. So if you look carefully, he got to the heel of Andre Dadai, not the ball. And I think that the referee should have consulted VAR and give Ghana a penalty. I think that's a blatant foul that Ghana has been denied.
Ghanaians have been denying a clear scoring opportunity because Adam Masina was trying to win the ball from Ghana captain, was fouling the balls, but the referee ignored the penalty calls, and that's the end of the 45 minutes. Perez, we are done with the 45 minutes. I think for a lot of naysayers who were hoping that Ghana would have shipped in at least 4 goals by now, it was not that bad. They defended well, and the first half ended goalless.
I think from a neutral perspective, we want to commend the Black Stars for being able to keep the Moroccans at bay. So far, we've not considered a goal, and that's a plus. But you also have to take into cognizance the fact that the Moroccans are into this game without 3 players who would have, made impact. So
somebody like
Enasri is out due to COVID reasons. I think one other guy who their lead scorer is also out. So all these things are affecting their performance on the day. You realize they started with a slow build up, and at some point they realized that wasn't working. They started exploiting our flanks by flying the balls, the long balls. Not sure our fullbacks are comfortable with that. But kudos to the Black Stars. Not conceding the first half is good enough. What they need to do, and that's what I keep saying, create chances. You can't win games if you're not creating chances. The only, perhaps, goal-scoring opportunity we had in the half was that good run by Pinto. And we need more of that. I feel that at some point in the game, we will need the service of Ataisa.
All right, so we've spoken about what the Black Stars did right in the game. The Moroccans, upon all the hype, even though they are missing some key players in the game, what should the Moroccans do in the second half if they want to win this game?
I think they seem to be over-focused on Ashraf Hakimi. And that's understandable because he's their main attacking threat. But once you realize that the Ghanaians seem to have a plan for your main threat, then you need to deploy your plan B or plan C, as we call it in football. I don't think they've done that so far. So they play in the middle, they try to slip the pass down the flank so that Hakimi was shaping the cross. Ghana has so far dealt with that, but thanks to Babaraman, Jiku and the other guys on the left side. What they need to do now is to involve the other players. Make sure that they build as a team, they don't focus on one player. Maybe in the second half, the Black Stars defense doesn't look too strong. Maybe in the second half, they can get something from us.
If you are a Moroccan and you are watching this game right now, they are finding it difficult to penetrate the defense of the Black Stars. We have wished that Hakim Ziyech is in this ball, is in this game.
I think that Ziyech's quality is in order. I mean, he's one of the best players in the world. A player who plays for the reigning Champions League, Champions League winners, is good enough to play for any team in the world. But you also have to look at the reasons why he's not in the tournament in the first place. And I think that certain coaches take discipline very highly. And Ziyech was given enough long rope. He failed to hit with the orders of the coach, and the coach had to cut that rope. And I feel that, yes, his presence would have been ideal. He would have look at his crosses, his ball curls. Those are incredible skills, but discipline over competence on any day. And I think that's what the Moroccan coach wants for.
All right, so that's the halftime analysis from my colleague Perez Ezra Kwao. This coverage is being sponsored by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Cold Mineral Water. It's been goalless between the two teams. And don't forget that it's the hashtag Afcon on GhanaWeb. We'll be back with more after the break.
and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's gonna be fun to see how approaching this game.
And principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's gonna be fun to see how approaching this game.
The largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's gonna be fun to see how approaching this game.
And principalities.
There's so much fire
Welcome back from the break. It's the GhanaWeb coverage of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations. We started the live commentary with a game between the Atlas Lions of Morocco and the Black Stars of Ghana. These two teams, Perez, let me bring you in quickly. They share 5 trophies between them. Ghana, we've had 4 victories in the Afcon. Morocco, their only victory was in 1976. People were expecting much, but so far so good. Has the game lived up to expectations?
I think no. I think it's failed woefully. We expected electrifying performances, We expected a game loaded with chances, a game loaded with a lot of excitement. Not sure either side has given us any indication of once that you, as a football fan, you watch, and even when there's no goal in the game, you go home with memories of that game. Not sure any of both teams has given us that. It's been bereft of quality, which is quite disappointing. Looking at the players both teams have already. If you have a team with the players that play for Wolves, that play for Arsenal, that play for,
Leicester,
all the top teams,
Leicester
PSG,
City, Rene, and all this.
you expect them to put a good advert or a good, representation of African football, just as they do for their respective clubs. And I'm sorry to say that none of the top players, particularly in those teams, and I'm looking at Thomas Partey, Hakimi, and the other guys, none of them have so far stepped up and given us reasons to be excited about this particular match.
All right, so I'll come back to you, but let me read some messages on Twitter. First 45 minutes and it's goalless. And this one is official Sicho. He's saying that flat from both sides, but it's understandable. 2 favorites in the group on my time. That was exactly what I was expecting. This one is coming from Nas Ohene Cheneboa. He's talking about the penalty incident, and he's saying that this was definitely a penalty. This one is coming from Mr. Square. He says that the long ball we they play, no, they help. Oh. And this one is called Tuezafi. Tuezafi is saying that Amate needs to get Hakimi because that guy is dangerous. Wi-Fi is saying that 2 teams haven't hit top gear yet. More like a game of jabs if it was boxing. No hard punches yet. Let me take the last one. PK is saying that Jordan Ayew's facial expression doesn't even motivate his teammates on the pitch. Man looks like he wants to cry. Now let's talk about Jordan Ayew in 45 minutes.
The thing about Jordan is you can't tell the kind of Jordan. Basically, you can't expect anything from him. Today, he gives you a Thierry Henry performance. Another day, he gives you a Patrick Razak. And for me, that's the issue with...
I'm not sure Has fans will be happy with
you, on one occasion, he wows you and you're like, yeah, this is Jordan Ayew. On another occasion, he gives you reasons to think that, no, this player shouldn't be playing for the Blasters. And I think that has been, if you are to describe Jordan Ayew, the perfect word would be inconsistent. And today, he's having one of those days where you wouldn't want to watch him. You can't blame him largely because the supply from the midfield has also not been constant, has also not been as you would wish. So, as a forward, there are times when it's hard to track back and try to fetch the ball himself. And we all know Jordan is not the most strongest of players. Once there is a bit of touch, he will go down. So, it's been a poor performance from Jordan. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Let's just hope that, as Ghanaians, we can just keep hoping that the Jordan Ayew that won the Crystal Palace Player of the Year a season ago will show up in the second half. And once Jordan shows up, trust me, Morocco will be unbelievable.
All right. But is there a reason why Jordan is playing the set pieces? Because we have Jose Pedro in the game, we have Kamadin, we have Thomas Partey. Is there a reason why our leading striker is playing the long set pieces when you need him in the box?
I think it speaks of a bigger problem in the Black Stars. Andrew has taken set pieces. Thomas Partey has taken set pieces. Jordan Ayew has taken set pieces. I think one of the defenders was also at the end of one of the set pieces. 4 set piece takers in 45 minutes. What does it tell you? On the training ground, they don't practice.
Okay, so we are talking about set pieces, but before we start the second half coverage of the African Cup of Nations Group C game between Ghana and Morocco, let's take a look at the predictions of the GhanaWeb staff ahead of this game.
Afcon against Morocco in the Group C encounter
And as part of our coverage of Afcon 2021, I want to speak to some colleagues in the GhanaWeb newsroom and find out their predictions as Ghana come up against the Atlas Lions. My friend over here is Echi. Echi, do you think Ghana can win this game?
It's not about whether we are going to win or not, but it's just a matter of trusting in our coach. I think that this is someone who has proven himself before. Really about the goals, I think that it's just coming out with a good result from today. We're all optimistic.
Then we start the second half. Ima, in summary, how has the first half been for you? Ima?
Hello, Joel.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, Joel. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So for me, I think the first half has been much ado, nothing to write home about from both teams. And as a Ghanaian, for me, I was expecting to see a lot more from the Black Stars. Before the game started, I would have taken a 0-0 scoreline at the end of the first half. But looking at the way the game panned out in the first 45 minutes, I think the Black Stars can do more. This Moroccan team has looked very ordinary. The only time that they've looked threatening in the first half has been through set pieces. And the long balls to Roman Saiz, who is very good with his head. But aside from that, they haven't offered anything, just like our Black Stars as well. So for me, I thought that before the game started, like I said, I would have taken a 0-0 scoreline. But looking at the way the game panned out, I think the Black Stars could have offered more, and they just didn't show up in the first half. And I'm hoping to see better in the second.
We just didn't show up for the first half. We had Imandola Yamga of Pause Ghana back to Amadou Ahedju Stadium in Yaoundé, where the second half has already started. Black Stars now playing from my left to my right from commentary position. And the Moroccans already have an attacking throw in. And this one will be taken by Massina, wearing the jersey number 3. Sends a good ball in, but Daniel Amate won the ball. But the Moroccan player wearing the jersey 17 was trying to get a bicycle kick. And that would have been a good goal if he had gotten the connection he wanted. That's Abuka, who plays in the Dutch Eredivisie for AZ Alkmaar. Joseph Walcott. I don't think that some years ago, Walcott would have even been fit to play for the under-20 side, because we have top goalkeepers. But now Ghana is supposed to rely on a player who plays for Swindon Town in a 4th-tier division in English football.
I mean, it tells you about the state of Ghana football now. Wherever we have a player in the 4th tier of English football, playing for a country that arguably produced the best goalkeeper in the history of Africa and the best not forgetting Mensah. You have the likes of Samia J, Yusuf and the other two ones greater goalkeepers. And to have a Sweden goalkeeper now our first choice, it's a bit disappointing. But what can we do? That's what we have now. So we just have to make do with him.
And don't forget that this is Ghana's 100th appearance at the Cup of Nations. They've won the tournament on 4 occasions. 1963, when Ghana's first president, Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, made sure that Ghana will host that tournament. And he wanted to use football as one of the means to unite Africa. Ghana won it by beating everybody. They did the same in 1965. And in the worst of Osei Kofi, the players would have been jailed if they had lost that tournament because of what they did before the start of the tournament. In 1968, the Black Stars were in the finals. They lost. In 1970, they were in the final. And now the Morocco is in the 18-yard box. But that cross from Sofiane Bouffa looking for Zakaria Abukar.
We have to credit Daniel Amate for being able to show the run of Buka such that he doesn't get a header onto that ball. So you have to give him some credit.
Ayamga, we've done about 5 minutes so far in the second half. Is it the same for you as you saw in the first half?
I think the Moroccans are looking more threatening. The Black Stars look more relaxed. It looks like Milo is setting up his team to be more defensive than they were in the first half. And in the first half, in the last 15 minutes, Morocco were the dominant side. They dominated possession. They had about 60-something% of the ball, and they created the better chances. I'm seeing the same pattern in the early second half. The first 5 minutes have shown that the Moroccans are looking more threatening. They look, if any team should be looking for the first goal, they look more likely to get it because currently they are dominating and they are floating the balls into our box. They are using their weight very, very well as well. And I'm looking at Milo making some changes to neutralize what they are doing because if this continues, then it's likely that they will get the first goal.
That was Emmanuel Ayamga. And elsewhere in Group B, Guinea is leading Malawi by a long goal. The goal was scored by Sly in the 35th minute. And that's goalkeeper Joseph Walcott again. This time around, he was able to clear the ball from getting to Bouffa.
You know, that pass from Daniel Amate is what you call hospital pass. You shouldn't be giving such passes. Walcott was, quite proactive enough to come out of his line and clear that ball. Other than that, it would have been maybe a goal for Morocco.
Coach Milovan, his maiden appearance in the Cup of Nations was in the 2010 edition. His first game against Togo was cancelled because the Togolese national team couldn't make their trip after the attack on them by armed robbers. His second game was a 3-1 defeat to the Elephants of La Côte d'Ivoire, where Michael Essien was injured and he couldn't make the cut for the 2010 World Cup squad. Milo was in the final, but he lost to a better side. Now the Moroccans are in the 18-yard box, and that was a dangerous ball, but a good interception from Reading defender Andy Yard. The Moroccans are coming again around the 18-yard box. But Babaraman wins this one. And the Moroccans are now pushing, and they are playing as if their lives depends on this one. Ghana needs to be careful because North Africans usually score from set pieces, and that's why they are called the set piece expert. And they whips this one in, and there's a player on the floor. But referee Bundo won't listen to any calls for the Moroccans for a penalty.
I mean, clearly, whatever they discussed in the dressing room during halftime seem to be working now. They are passing the ball more quickly. The passes are more intricate now, and they are giving our players, our defenders, some headache. I just don't know how long we can, keep those in check. But we just need to step out of our defensive foot.
Corner for Morocco again, and it was well intercepted. And Joseph Pentel is now going on loose. Joseph Pentel on the break, alongside 4 Moroccans. Joseph Pentel trying to find Kamal Dean Suleiman, but that was a good interception from Massima, and the ball has been cleared from the Moroccan 18-yard box. But Ashraf Hakimi was trying to find the man wearing the jersey number 7 for the Atlas Lions.
I mean, the question is, why didn't he go alone? You had done enough to carry the ball from deep. Just go alone and try to fire the ball into the net instead of trying to locate your partner. That was a great chance that you should have capitalized.
That was a good break from the Black Stars. And the comments are coming, hoping that Ghana will be more effective with the introduction of under-20 best player, Abdul Fattah Issahaku. Others also call him the long-range aspect, Bufar. The Ghanaian defenders are not making it easy for the engaged striker. That's Joseph Pentel for you, wearing the jersey number 15 jersey for the Black Stars. And so far, he's been one of the attacking threats for the Moroccans. The GhanaWeb Afcon coverage is being powered by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Gold Mineral Water. The 55 minutes of action. Moroccans dominating possession. Black Stars getting a good opportunity to test goalkeeper Yashin Bonu. But the decision from winger Joseph Pentel was not successful as Massima intercepted the ball. Ayanga, 55 minutes and still no goal in the game.
Like I said earlier, I mean, nothing has changed with the way Ghana is playing. We've been rushed with our decision making. Our passes are not going through. We seem to have totally lost the midfield. Morocco are enjoying a lot of possession in midfield. In our attack as well, there's simply no cohesion. Kamal Dean Suleimana, Joseph Pencil, Jordan Ayew, Andre Ayew, the front 4 are not clicking, and it looks like we don't know what we are doing. So I'm looking forward to seeing a bit of substitutions to spice up a bit of things, because currently we are offering very little. But I see Jordan Ayew trying to do too much. We already know, and I think we've all known this for some time now, that he's not a number 9. And so when it comes to playing with his back to goal, he sometimes struggles. And it's the same thing that is happening in this game. The Moroccans are very tall, they are very bulky, and then they are very strong. And they are playing him out of the game. It's not a striker that can play with his back to goal. And clearly, it has been a deficiency for the Black Stars. So I'm looking at getting it, maybe if Benjamin Tete would come in and then offer us that presence up front. But for now, we are offering nothing at all.
For now, we are offering nothing. Jordan Ayew nearly made things difficult for the Atlas Lions. But captain for the side, Roman Size, was there to prevent Andre Ayew from getting a simple tap-in into the Moroccan box. The Black Stars gradually upping up their game. Kamal Dean Suleimana. Kamal Dean, in the midst of Thomas Partey, finds Partey. Partey has been fouled by referee Bondo. Says players must continue.
I mean, a strange decision by the referee. Partey was indeed impeded. That was a clear foul that has been denied Ghana. Another occasion where I'm sure we'll grab the headlines if Ghana fail to win this game.
Joseph Pentel sends in a good cross looking for Andre Ayew, but the ball was too much for the Assad attacker, who has scored 9 goals in the African Cup of Nations, and he has enjoyed more minutes in the competition than any other player in Cameroon at this time. And that was a beautiful control from Bufar. Bufar finds Zakaria Abuka. Abuka facing Daniel Amate, trying to swing in and go for the shot. But the effort from the AZR command attacker would know where trouble goalkeeper Joseph Walcott. And that was a good build-up play from the two Moroccans up front, Bufa and Zakaria. But he is disappointed.
I mean, he should be disappointed. That was quite a selfish play. He had options in the box, just lobby the ball, cross the ball into the box for someone to get a head on to it. But he goes all himself and he ends up fluffing the opportunity.
It's something good coming out of Nazareth. That's what many Ghanaians on social media are saying. You get the normal reaction on the street that Yankan saw Munyade. And that was supposed to be a foul, but referee Bundo says play must continue. Moroccans encroaching the goal area of the Black Stars. Azini Unahi tried to shoot at goal, but the ball was deflected and prevented from entering the goalpost by Thomas Terpate. We are getting closer to the 60 minutes mark, 30 minutes more to go, and this is the time most coaches will want to make changes in the game. Ayamga, who do you want to see in the Black Stars team? And if Moroccan coach Haliovic decides to introduce new legs in the game, which players are you expecting to come on board?
For Ghana, I think we need a bit of weight, and since we are not even getting closer to their goal, I think a player like Fatau Isahaku would do a job on the wings. Andrea, we all know he thrives on service. He's currently not the most pacey footballer. He's in the twilight of his career, and so the all-action player that we knew 10 years ago or 5 years ago, he's no longer that kind of player. And so we need the energy because we are being outfought and outtaught in midfield. We need players who will fight for the second balls, not just fight for them, but also win them. As it stands, we are not winning the second balls. And everybody will tell you, if you don't win the second balls at this stage, then you are not winning games. And so I think we need that kind of energy. If we bring in Abdul Fattah Isaaku on the wings and take off either Jordan or Andre, I think it would help. Oh, we also need a target man. So I'm looking at seeing Benjamin Tete in it because it's a game where we are not creating chances, but we need a target man so that in the few long balls that we are going to kick about, we can make something of them. I mean, if you look at the way the Black Stars have played in previous tournaments, when we had a Samoajan, it's not as if we were creating a lot of chances, but because we had a target man who could turn a long ball into a half chance, we were able to thrive and to win games. And I think this is the kind of game where Samoajan would have thrived. And so we need that kind of player, a bulky presence up front who can handle the Morocco defenders and then put them under pressure. And also fight for the long balls that will be sent into their box. Because as it stands, it looks like we cannot play our way into their box. Our only choice is to kick the ball around. And if we have a target man, maybe, just maybe, we could turn one of those long balls into a half chance that could result in a goal.
Is Ghana's 100 appearance in the African Cup of Nations going to end in a victory or a defeat for the 4 times African champions? When Ghana won 4 Afcon in 1982, Egypt had only 2 trophies. Now the Pharaohs of Egypt have won 5 in the last 40 years, but Ghana is still benefiting from the legacies left behind by Reverend Osei Kofi, who won 2 Afcon trophies in 1963 and 1965, Golden Boy Abdul Razak in 1978, and the likes of Popokwe Fee in 1982. Let me get some reactions on Twitter, then I will bring in Perez for his comments on the game so far. 62 minutes and it's still goalless. And this one is from Sadiq Adams Obama on Twitter, and he is saying that Milo has scored Ishahaku and Richmond Boachi Yadom to the bench. Others continue to warm up, and he's saying that it is time they introduce Fatau in the game. Orioku Ampofo saying that this chance sum up today's game for Team Ghana in attack is Pinto and Kamaldeen versus Morocco. No one else is offering support. Perez, what do you also think?
I think he captures it perfectly that in attack our main threat has been Kamaldeen and Pinto. The 2 Ayew brothers who are supposed to be our source of goals have so far not lived up to expectations. So we look at the game and we look a bit blunt. I would want to see Obama is reporting that Fatawu and Boachi Adam. I'm not too pleased with the news that Boachi Adam is coming on, but I'm really happy that Milovan is trying to bring on Fatawu Isahaku. I would have preferred Benjamin Tete because of the kind of presence he gives you in the box. That's a modern kind of figure who is able to, make chances out of nothing, worry defenders, be on their shoulders and create some chances. I haven't seen that from Boachi Adam to be able to be pleased about his introduction. So I think we need to look at those things as well. Bring in someone, a target man, fly the long balls to him, and let him deal with the area balls.
Black Stars captain Andre Ayew has also been booked by referee Bondo for his foul on Sofiane Boufar.
If I were Milo, that would have been his last action in the game, honestly.
Morocco still have an opportunity to take this one. Boufar waits in the ball, but Andre Ayew is able to defend, and Kamaldeen Sulemana is breaking away. Kamaldeen, in the midst of 4 Moroccan players, he has done it before. Kamaldeen finds Jordan Ayew. Jordan sends the ball back to Andy Yadov. Black Stars building from the back. Baba Idrisu back to Thomas Teipate. 14 million euros. And that was a good ball from Baba Rahman. A good touch from Andre Ayew. But the final connection goes off target. And Ghanaians are so anxious for goals.
I mean, the technique was great, the connection was great, but he couldn't find the back of the net, and that's how disappointing for Andre Ayew. But that shows the kind of quality he has. Let's hope that next time he's able to put that in the net.
Morocco trying to surround Thomas Teipate, but wins a foul for Ghana. And Partey seems not satisfied with the decision of the referee. Probably he wants Amala to be booked. Total African Cup of Nations GhanaWeb coverage. Proudly brought to you by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Gold Mineral Water. Is it time for the coach to make changes now?
I think from, normally for games, from the 60th minute onwards, you expect changes. And for a game of this nature where clearly some players are not playing at their weight, you would want Milovan Rajvac to bring some changes. I'm surprised that it's getting to the 70th minute, we are at the 66th, and so far no substitution has been done. We need some life, we need some inspiration, we need some sparkle at the other end of the pitch. I think Milo needs to bring some changes and bring us someone who will be able to give the Moroccan defenders some headache.
Ghana now playing from my left and will be scoring on my right from commentary position. If it was the Accra Sports Stadium, the Black Stars from commentary position would have been playing from the Black Star Square and will be scoring at the Accra International Conference Center. The Moroccans would have been playing from the conference center, from commentary position, and they would have been scoring at the Black Star Square end. Baba Rahman, unlike many critics, Baba Rahman seems to be enjoying the game, keeping the tabs on both Ashraf Hakimi and Lauza.
Yeah, and I think that because Kamaldeen has really been tracking back to help him in defense. One of the criticisms of Kamaldeen's game is that his defensive side is a bit suspect. But I think in this game he has done fairly well. He's been a live wire for the Black Stars up front, and he's also tracked back whenever needed to help with the defending. So I think that is one of the reasons why Baba Rahman is getting the license to move forward. And as we already know, Baba Rahman, when it comes to deliveries, is very, very good. In fact, I think in the current team, aside from Jordan, Baba Rahman should be one of the top 2 or top 3 players when it comes to delivering the ball, a good or a perfect cross into the box. So we are looking forward to seeing more of that. But again, who is there to finish those chances? The one that really went through, the first one that really got to a marker was to the Andre Ayew, and unfortunately his shot couldn't find the back of the net. But assuming we had a role number 9 in the squad or in the team, then maybe that cross would have gone a bit higher and we could have gotten a header that would have resulted in a goal. But as it stands, like I said, we need to make some changes because currently the players on the pitch, a lot of them are not clicking, especially in attack, and we need to freshen things up a bit and then switch. Even if it demands switching the formation, we need to do something because currently it's not working.
Moroccans pushing hard for the opener, and Baba Rahman is making things difficult for Ashraf Hakimi. Paris Saint-Germain had to pay 50 million euros to get him from International Milan. After having an exceptional season at the Giuseppe Meazza Sports Stadium in Italy, helping Antonio Conte to win the Scudetto for the first time since 2010. And in the Ghanaian team, there are so many debutants in the first level. John Pinto, Kamal Dean, Baba Idrisu, Alexander Jiku, and Joseph Walukot are all making their first appearance in the Cup of Nations. But Black Stars will have to defend another set piece again, and Roman Size is poised for the ball. Andrew Ayew issuing out instructions. The ball is whipped in.
That was a poor corner kick. I mean, for a country with a reputation of being good set pieces, that was awful. Pretty poor.
That was awful from the guy who was tipped as the best set piece taker in the Moroccan team in the absence of Hakim Ziyech. Amran Loza plays for Watford in the English Premier League. And a player of his caliber is supposed to be giving us better set pieces. And what a story it has been for goalkeeper Joseph Walukot. And what a story it will be if he becomes the one to keep the post for Ghana when they win the Afcon after 40 years.
I read an interview of him with The Guardian some few days ago. He says he never for once thought that at this point in his career he was going to be called by the Black Stars. So he finds a bit of a privilege and a bit of grace. I mean, he's a well-grounded guy, a very religious guy. He says his mom plays an instrumental role in his career. So he feels it's the doing of the Lord.
Indeed, there is nothing we can do without the help of the Lord. Kamadin is away. Kamadin! And he's still waiting for the connection for his players. And the boy is still waiting. Joseph Peto sending a good one. But that was a good save from goalkeeper Yassine Bounou. That was a good ball from Alexander Jiku. Beautiful control and composure from Kamal Dean. That was a good display. And he was able to outplay Ashraf Hakimi. And that was a good shot from Joseph Pento and a good save from a goalkeeper in the caliber of Yassine Bounou. Corner for Ghana.
That pass from Jiku, from a centre back, that pass, for me, did everything for Ghana.
Pento whips in the corner trying to find Alexander Jiku. But there was a slight push from the Moroccans. But Baba Rahman will have to build the Ghanaian attack from the back. Baba Rahman trying to find Joseph Pento again. And Jordan Ayew picks up. Jordan trying to drive the Ghanaian attack. And from Jordan's play, Sofiane Bouffard wanted to act like Abdul Fattah Isahaku when he won the ball from Baba Idrisu. Ayamga, is this the kind of balls that we need from our central defenders at a time that the midfielders and the wingers are not able to create chances for the team?
Yes, exactly. I think this is the kind of balls that we need, especially because I feel like we have the width. Because currently, like I said, we don't have a target man, and so our best bet when it comes to attacking is to use the wings. Unfortunately, in the first half, we didn't use our width very well. On the few occasions that we got the ball to come out in Suleimana, we saw what he did with it. But unfortunately, we are not using their weight. So what we need to see from our centre backs is to locate our wingers as soon as possible, because as you can see, we cannot play our way past the Moroccan defense. It's a defense that is very compact, and in the air balls as well, they are beating us well because their players are taller and stronger than our attackers. So what I want to see is our defenders locating our wingers more and then allowing them to use their weight, because I think that's our best shot at getting a goal.
Free kick for the Black Stars, and this one will be taken by Thomas Tepate. I can see Jordan Ayew in the 18-yard box. Seems a little bit frustrated. Jordan recently ended his goal drought in all competition for both club and country. The Moroccans are preparing to introduce Ahmed Reda, but Ghana will have to take this set piece. Daniel Amate and Thomas Partey whips in the ball, and that was a good connection, but Andre Ayew couldn't get the connection he wanted, and the game is temporarily on hold. Andre Ayew, there seems to be some form of head clash between Roman Size and Andre Ayew. The medics are currently on the pitch attending to these players. It's been 74 minutes, getting to the 75-minute mark. No changes from the both teams.
I mean, quite surprising from both coaches that they decided not to fall on their bench, especially in a game where that's there for the taking. You would want that one of them would like to bring on some forward and steal the chance. But the clash between Andre Ayew and Saiz looked quite bad. Our captain seemed to be in severe pain. I just hope that the medics will be able to address the situation. Head injuries are not good for football. We all know the issue of concussion and how they impact on footballers. So let's just pray that Andre Ayew recovers and is able to return to the pitch and continue the game.
Ayamga, what do we have to do? I can see the Ghana supporters. They are never tired. They are singing. By now, they are singing, Amen, Amen, Amen. Some of them might also be singing Ebefa. But we are 15 minutes away from ending the game. Ayamga, what do we need in the game after the first 30 minutes?
I think I've been impressed with the last 5 to 10 minutes of the game, because we were a bit too passive for my liking. But in the last 5 to 10 minutes, we've upped the ante a bit. We are pushing them more backwards. We are trying to create chances. We are using our weight as well, like I stated earlier in my earlier submission. So for me, I think we just need to continue what we are doing. But I don't know what Milo is waiting for. I don't know if this is the best bet that he has when it comes to the first 11. But you have a 27-man squad for a reason. I mean, so that in every position you have 2 or 3 players who can come in and then make a change. If you are not making use of your bench, it becomes too difficult. And as you can see, Andre Ayew's head injury is a bit serious, because I can see blood on his face. So, and head injuries are not supposed to be joked with. Of course, he is the captain of the team, but if this is an injury that will affect his play, then I think he needs to be taken off and then another player brought in. So for me, I think in the last 5-10 minutes, we've done a bit well. It has been better than we started the game, obviously. And I'm looking forward to seeing a bit more substitutions to influence the game.
Andre Ayew is injured from the head clash with Roman Size. His head has been bandaged. But the captain, just like he promised Ghanaians, that they are going to do everything possible within their power, even if it means that they have to give their lives on the field of play. And we have the first change in the game. Ahmed Tida has been introduced by the Moroccan coach to replace Amran Loza, who plays for Watford. And Andre Ayew, when he was injured, I think he was frustrated with the way referee Bondo of Botswana is managing the game. He's complaining, and he has to change his jersey. Ghana is now down by a man, with Andre Ayew on the sidelines as the medics are attending to him. Roman size with the ball. Moroccans trying to build from the back with their 3-man defense, trying to play behind the Ghanaian defense. That was a good switch off play. And Ghana go again. Joseph Pente breaking away. I can see Jordan, are you calling for the ball? And that was a poor decision. As he could have held on and wait for his teammate to join the attack. Game is still in play. Could he have done better, Perez?
I think so. I think that he could have gone a bit more instead of trying to find the ball to Jordan Ayew, who had 3 markers. You have the pace, you have the skill to take on any defender in the world. For someone who came up against Messi and Mbappe and still excel, he could have gone a bit ahead before releasing the ball. That, for me, was a poor decision.
Black Stars need to keep their composure in the game and keep their head as we get closer to the final 10 minutes of the game. Moroccans in the 18-yard box. And Alexander Juku stepped in to win the ball from Zakaria Abuka.
You know, credit to Jiku. After conceding that first yellow card in the first half, I was a bit concerned that due to the pressure coming from the Moroccans, he might take a second one. But so far, he's been calm and he's dealt with the ball well. Let's just hope that he's able to end the game on that note.
Game getting to the final, and the Moroccans whipping in the cross, and the newcomer who just came want to cause problems for the Black Stars. Ghana breaking away. Jordan Ayew. Jordan wins the ball, but Jordan loses possession to Onai. That would have been something for the Black Stars if Jordan had been able to keep the ball. Moroccans coming forward, but the pass from Salim Amala, who was trying to find Zakaria Abuka, goes wide, and Ghana will have a defensive throw-in. The GhanaWeb coverage of the African Cup of Nations is sponsored by Kempon Football Academy and Ice Gold Mineral Water. Final 10 minutes inside the game, and Ghana is here to make a change. I don't know if all the players sitting at the dugout have tested positive for COVID-19, because clearly Ghana needs new legs in the game.
I think that's basically my issue with Milovan Rival. This game is there for the taking. Any side, can go on and win this game. You don't have to sacrifice or seek possession and try to defend. Bring on an attacker. This game is there for the taking. Bring on someone who can score goals, and let's do the game instead of trying to be defensive.
And some of the comments on Twitter, people are saying that there is an overrated Moroccan side, and they don't understand why the coach seems to be satisfied with the scoreline, thinking that Ghana will get it easy when they meet Gabon or the debutant Comoros. Is the coach satisfied with the goalless draw, or he needs to
I think
up
so,
his game?
because I think that's the only explanation. And they have scored. Morocco have just opened the scoring.
And the Moroccan side in the 18-yard box trying to find El Bouffar. Shoots El Bouffar. Gets to the first goal of the group stage game. Bouffar scores the first goal for the Atlas Lions of Morocco. At the time that the defensive line of the Black Stars were kept ball watching, they were sleeping on the ball. You can look on the faces of Alexander Juku, Thomas Tepate. They are disappointed, and that was a loose ball, and the player who plays for Angers in the French League has scored the first goal for the Atlas Lions of Morocco. That was a poor decision and a poor defensive line for the Black Stars.
You look at the replay and ask yourself, why couldn't they clear the ball?
Look,
we had enough men in the box.
Enough men,
more
and
than
you,
enough men
and
in
you
the
let
box.
a loose ball. That was about 6 players in the Ghanaian defense, and that's this ball is something that goalkeeper Joseph
what was Partey
doing? Nothing. What was Thomas Tepate doing? Partey was caught ball watching, and that's the Moroccan coach, Validovic. Sofiane Boufar is telling the coach, I told you I'm going to score, keep me on the pitch. And he has done the job. And people have already started saying on Twitter, I can't be feared. But we are still 7 minutes away. And the Moroccans are coming again. Morocco, Ashraf Hakimi, the right side of the Ghanaian attack, but that was a good interception by Kamaldeen Sulemana. Kamaldeen trying to look for Joseph Pinto. And yes, our midfielders. And that is what many Ghanaians have been complaining about. Coach Miloban, we've played so many minutes. Ayamga, now you can see on your screens that he's preparing to introduce 3 new players.
And this is what I'm talking about. What are you bringing them on to come in? You had a chance to bring them on earlier to effect on their game. You didn't do that. You've waited to concede before. I don't know. Is it that he was playing to get a draw? Which I think so. And that was the point I was about to make right before the Moroccans got their first goal. I think, at this point, I don't know why you'll be playing for a draw. So you wait and you now have 6 minutes left and you are not bringing on some of your best players who can affect the game. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm hoping maybe the players that will come in will be able to fetch Ghana the goal, because if they don't, they will not spare his blushes. He's going to be criticized for it, and rightly so.
And Partey gives a set piece to the Moroccans, and they are coming to attack the Black Stars again. Morocco now getting the momentum they needed. Babarama trying to make sure that they are not going to score from his angle again. And on the touchline for the Black Stars, Ashraf Hakimi is on the pitch. And I can see Benjamin Tete, Fatawu Isahaku, and Daniel Kofitre. Are these the guys who are going to get us the goals, Perez?
I mean, clearly, it shows clearly the intention of Milovan Rivers. Go out there, go and try and get the equalizer. Question is it not too late? We need to have done this earlier. We have all these players in the bench who are able to impact the game offensively. You keep them on the bench and bring them at this minute where we've considered Charlie the ball.
And he has taken our best player in the game, Joseph Pinto. He has taken him out. He will be replaced by Fatawu Isahaku. And he's taking Kamaldeen also out of the game. Kamaldeen will be replaced by Daniel Kofitre, who is a midfielder.
I'm not trying to pick on Dedayu, but why should they still be on the pitch, honestly? I mean, he's been poor from the first half till now. Why is the coach not taking him off and bringing some of these guys instead of taking on Pinto, who has been our best player on the day? Why?
And in the conversation on Twitter, people are saying that if they knew they were going to exchange CK Akono because they said he doesn't have balls to take decision, this Serbian coach doesn't even have balls at all. He doesn't even have natural balls. That's the reaction on Twitter. Ashraf Hakimi is now fit.
When you say balls, a lot of us think about different balls. So we need to be careful.
The Moroccans whipping another ball, trying to lift up the play. And that could have been dangerous for the Black Stars if that ball had entered the net. And see, nobody marked Roman Saiz, and the Moroccans are appealing for a penalty. Ahmed is saying that he was pushed by Daniel Amate, but referee Bondo, just like he ignored the calls for Ghana to get a penalty in the first half. He doesn't have time for them at all. Morocco now have the momentum and advantage, and now the Moroccan coach is also about to introduce 2 new legs in the game. Is it game over for Ghana, or something good will come out from Nazareth?
I don't think it's game over, because until the final whistle goes, a goal can still pop up. But I think Ghana does not have a good chance of even snatching a draw in this game. For me, I think we had our chances. We should have pressed on to get the win, but we didn't do that. We started to play for a draw, and we are paying for it currently. Because when it comes to managing games, these North Africans know how to do it. And trust me, they will waste as much time as possible that they can. As you can see, before we started, a player is down in our box. He is pretending to be injured, and this is a tactic. They are going to frustrate us by wasting time to the end. So for me, I think we can still come back, but the chances are very slim.
And look at who he's bringing on, Amarabat. I mean, if you need a player to wind up opponents and get them angry, waste time, there's no better player in the world than Amarabat. And that's the player the Moroccans are bringing on. Basically, game over, honestly.
And you see, the Moroccans, they've started their antics. I heard it's something they teach them in the academies when they are young. They teach them how to delay time professionally without being booked by the referee. And look at the quality of players who are coming up for Morocco. Amrabat, an experienced player in Afcon. Amrabat is coming on.
And I'm praying for whichever of our fullback, whoever is going to be deployed, because Amrabat will roast that person.
Amrabat is coming for Zakaria Abuka. Amrabat. And Sarkwadia is ranting on Twitter that tonight he might not be able to eat. Sarkwadia is ranting. And Carl Anka is saying that, you see the ironing board next to the TV? He was reacting to Sarkodia's video. That's a true Ghana man there. Ghanaians are angry. But someone is also saying that you people said Ghana will lose. So why are you now angry that your wishes is becoming a reality?
I don't think it's the defeat that will make people angry or disappointed. It's the manner of the defeat. It's the way we lost the game. This is a game that, even in the first half, could have won. So to allow them score a late equalizer and steal 3 points from us, that for me is what will make Ghanaians angry.
And yes, when we've done all the 90 minutes, now the Serbian coach is now ready to pick a point from the game. It's as if he was comfortable with the goalless draw, but now he has to do something. And Ghana is in the Richmond Bachia that wins a good ball, trying to find Andre Dedeayu. And you can see from the faces of Jonathan Mensah at the dugout, and they are disappointed.
Question is, when was the last time Wachi Adam scored for the Blasters?
Yes.
I doubt Nana Akufo-Addo was present then.
The last time Boachi Adam played, I think the president was from the NDC side. Morocco, Atlas Lions, ranked number 28 according to the December FIFA ranking, and second on the CAF ranking. And Morocco Accra, Amrabat, that was a good save from goalkeeper Joseph Court. And the Moroccans are coming again. And Baba Idrisu rescues Ghana. And Ghana is going again. Fatawu Isahaku. Fatawu. And the pass from Fatawu was timely intercepted by Masima. And from the faces of my colleagues in the GhanaWeb newsroom, they are very disappointed. The host of Mons and Kados, Mons of Kados, Moni, cannot fit in her chair as she is disappointed. And it's game over. Game over. Game over. At the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium, and the goal that was scored by Bufa in the 83rd minute was all that the Atlas Lions needed to beat the Black Stars of Ghana. It's all over. Coach Milovan Rajvaj, Ghanaians are blaming him for the defeat. Others are saying that he lacked balls for keeping Andre Dedeayu on the pitch for 95 minutes of soccer action. We are done. Ghana will have to go back to the drawing board and prepare for our next game against Gabon and then debutant Comoros. Perez Ezwakwao and Emmanuel Ayamga. We are done with 95 minutes of action. Ghana, we lost the game by a long goal.
You know, it's for followers of the Blaster, it's a result that hurts. It's just not because we lost, it's because of how we lost. It's a game where clearly we could have taken the lead, even in the first half, where we created enough chances, played enough balls, and could have hurt the Moroccans. In the second half, it was quite obvious that certain elements in our squad had worn out, and Milovan Raivat needed to ring changes. He waited up until we considered before bringing in those changes. You don't go into an Afcon thinking that you are going to draw your way to the tournament. And I'm very much disappointed in Thomas Partey because, you see, I said this, that to win a tournament, you need a spine in defense, a spine in midfield, and a spine in attack. Thomas Partey should be our spine in the midfield. In fact, he's the spine of the team. Our most experienced player, our most popular player, our most valuable player should not be making the mistakes Thomas Partey made. That led to the goal. And for me, especially for an Arsenal fan who's going to be trolled by others, I'm honestly disappointed by this draw. But of course, we have another opportunity in the next two games. I'm not sure the competition we'll get from Comoros and Gabon can be compared to this. Let's go to the drawing board, as you always say. If there is enough space on the drawing board, we try to correct our wrongs. We come back in the next games. We always don't start well, as they say. So hopefully, in the subsequent games, we can, get some good results and make our way to the next stage of the competition.
All right. So before I read the Twitter messages, Perez, you just mentioned that we always don't start well. So let me look at the 4 times that Ghana won the African Cup of Nations and the results from our first game. Now, on November 24, 1963, Ghana hosted here in the capital in Kumasi. We won the tournament, but our first game against the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia, we drew 1-1. In 1965, November 12, Ghana beat DR Congo by 5-2 to win our second tournament. In 1968, we were in the finals. Our first game, we drew 2-2. In 1970, we were in the final. Our first game, we beat DR Congo by 2-0. After that, we didn't qualify till 1978. We won that tournament. Our first game, we beat Zambia by 2-1. And then if we move on to 1982, that we won our last tournament, we drew our first game 2-2 with Libya. So it means that on the 4 occasions that we've won, we have never lost our first games.
I think so. It defeats the notion that we don't always start well. But you see, when you look at those teams that won us those 4 cups, the preparations, it took years. For the 1960 and there is a story of how Nkrumah flew Ghanaian coaches, Ghanaian players to Brazil. Even for 82, there is the story of how Rollins motivated the players. Rollins ganged up with his friend Gaddafi, motivated the players. And we haven't still won the trophy because that was the remnant of the good works done by the Nkrumah government. So once that era of players went away, we failed to produce equally good players or an all-round team. Let me say that way. We've produced some good players in the past few years, but if you look at that squad and if you listen to Ghanaian football history, all round from number 1 to the last man at the bench, they were good enough, and that's the lesson we should be learning from there.
Let me read some comments on Twitter for you, and this one is from Brian. He's saying that Jordan Ayew is Anthony Marshall Pro Max. This one is from 24D. He's saying that what at all is the day are you playing? The gentleman called Kofi is saying that Amate the bouncer. This one is from Tennis. He's saying that Moroccans scored and Ghanaians are celebrating. Bibinini, your guess is as good as mine. This one is from Derrickson. He's saying that Adisa Pika Team Funse. That's some of the comments coming from Ghanaians on Twitter. You also watching us on GhanaWeb TV and following the live stream can also bring your comments. Ghana, we've lost our first game, and now we need to go back to the drawing board. Now, if you are a management member, Perez, what will you tell head coach Milovan?
I think it's I doubt any of the management members can call Milovan and say, do this and do that. It amounts to interference. And Milovan Rajevac is one coach who has carved a niche as someone who doesn't give room for management. We even understand that the squad for the tournament, the GFA wanted him to invite 30 players. He was like, I need only 28, and just this team. I cannot influence whatever decision I want to make. So I'm sure maybe the GFA president will try to call him and try to make a few suggestions to him, and Milo might have to do some concessions. But what he needs to do now is to say, for the next games, throw caution away, attack. We have enough Arsenal to attack and win against Comoros and Gabon, and we need to win this game. But once you win those two games, if we finish in the third runoff, it's quite bad because we're going to face some of the top teams on the continent. So at least we need to finish second or first to be able to ensure that we get an easy path or an easy route to the next stage of the competition. So I'm sure maybe because Okreko will call Miller and say, maybe you should have done this, should have done that. But I doubt it can influence or cause any major influence in the next game.
Now, the interesting thing about this defeat is that South Africans are trolling Ghanaians. And if you check the tweets from South Africans after the Black Stars handle tweeted that we've lost our first game, and this is some of the comments. This one is from Mutudi. It says that this is a great resource for South Africa. Thieves. And he ended with hashtag happy people South Africa. This one is also coming from, he is using numbers as his name on Twitter. He says that beautiful. The cheaters of African football have been exposed big time on the pitch.
You know, you see that ex-girlfriend who just can't get over it. That's how they are. Because you see, if the way we play today, it was poor, right? But if we played that the same way against them, we'd have scored them like 3.
But you see, it's surprising that South Africa, who couldn't even qualify for Afcon, they are trying to. So that is it. Now let's look at the individual battles in the game. Before we started the game, we said that we don't really have a collective team like the way the Moroccans do. But we believe that certain individual players, somebody like Suleiman, because we saw what he did to Ashraf Hakimi when Stade Rennais beat Paris Saint-Germain. Joseph Pinto, he did his own. Jordan Ayew and Andre, not like we are picking on them, but they were mere passengers in the game. Thomas Tepate, in the first half he was good, the second half he was missing. What do we need from these players if we can really make a good case for himself on Friday?
You know, ahead of the game, GhanaWeb did key players for both sides. And for Ghana, we had Thomas Partey, Jordan Ayew, and Fatai Sahaku. 2 of them started. Fatai Sahaku came from the bench. Now, you look at the performance of Jordan Ayew, and I'm not sure he himself will be impressed with the kind of performance he put out today. You look at Thomas Partey. Okay,
so let me cut you and speak to the managing editor of GhanaWeb, Daniel Odro.
Look for interviews. I said that.
The managing editor of GhanaWeb, Daniel Odro, is in Yaoundé, and he saw what happened on the pitch. Very soon we'll be speaking to Daniel Odro to get the reaction from Ghanaians and the reaction he's getting from the technical team members and the entire playing body after this defeat. Mr. Odro, good evening.
Good evening.
It's been a disappointing start for the Black Stars. We thought that after a fantastic first half performance, we could win the game. But we've lost our first game. You were at the stadium. You had a better perspective of things than we were watching on camera. What's your general submission on our performance today?
Well, it was always going to be a difficult game. I mean, those of us who have followed the team, and in fact, every Ghanaian would admit that this was always going to be our most difficult game in the group on paper. And my thinking is that the coach went into this game hoping at least to get a point, and then they can build on it. But that didn't happen. I think a lapse in concentration at the back affected the Black Stars, and they've lost all 3 points, which means they've got to win the remaining 2 games to start any chance of qualifying out of the group.
All right, so if we check the reaction on social media right now, majority of Ghanaians are blaming head coach Milovan for delaying the changes at a time that we're in a good position, and if we had introduced new legs, probably we could have won the game. Do you also share the same view?
Yes, I think it makes a lot of sense to question why the coach waited for so long before making his substitutions. But it goes to back and buttress the point that I was making, that from where I said, I feel that the coach just wanted to avoid defeat. And so he didn't want to throw on a lot of offensive players and rather wanted to put a conservative way, cut the dog, and then get at least the point where they can build on it. But yes, once you lose it, then everybody has the right to question if you like that game plan. And so that's what's going to happen. He knows it, and I'm sure when he goes to the conference, he will provide some more answers as to why he waited for so long before making the change.
All right, so if you can paint the atmosphere at the stadium for us from the Ghanaians who are there and some of the management members and your colleague journalists, what are they also saying about this defeat?
Well, in terms of managers, I'm complaining, but in terms of the reaction from the journalists, it's a big disappointment. When the team does, it helps you in your coverage. There's a lot of openness and the ability to get interviews and all of that. When a team loses, there's this dull atmosphere at the team within the playing body. If you're a journalist, that doesn't augur well for you, and you begin to question how long you're going to stay in the competition. But there's also optimism that the next two opponents may not be as tough Morocco, even though that's just on paper. The hope is that at least we can go past Bonn and Moros to be able to get a point to progress beyond the group stage.
It's going to be on Friday. Do you expect Coach Milo to keep faith with these same guys who started the game, or you want to see fresh faces like Fatau Abdul in the game on Friday?
I'll be surprised if the coach with the same starting lineup for a game that he knows he must win. I think there will be a lot more offensive players thrown on because he knows how important it is to get goals and also to win all 3 points at stake. So I would expect a lot of changes. I think we'll have a more natural striker. I think somebody like Ishaku deserves a chance because we didn't create a lot, and he's one player who can create a lot of chances because he's a player who is able to find his way around the ball and dribble past the opponent. So he's somebody the team will need in creating chances.
You know, you are preparing to go for the post-match interview, and then we'll be expecting your subsequent reports on what is happening in Cameroon. That was the managing editor of GhanaWeb, Daniel Odro. He's in Cameroon with the team, and those were his comments in the game. Now, Perez, let's wrap everything up. Where do we go from here?
It's simple. Win the next game. You can't afford to lose or draw.
Okay.
I would say that the Black Stars are playing for two things. They are playing for the trophy, and they are playing for the love of Ghanaians. They've not been able to win back that love after they betrayed us in 2014. And there is no better way to win back that love by winning games and winning the tournament. So there is no option. It's just win the games and make sure you bring home the tournament. Until that is done, I doubt Ghanaians will be 100% behind the Black Stars.
If you look at all these stars, though we've lost the game, what are some of the positives in the game that going forward, if we are able to capitalize on this positive, we can beat Gabon and Comoros?
I was impressed with Baba Rahman in particular. You know, he's not someone, for the past 2 years, he's not had the best of careers due to injuries and other matters, but he came up against some of the best players on the continent in Bufal, in Hakimi, and I think his performance was positive. There is Joseph Pencil, who not a lot of us tipped to be perhaps the face of the team, but based on this performance today, you would want to see more of him in our Black Stars. I also think that the few times Jojo Walcott had to be called upon, I think he manned up, put up some great saves. So these are some of the positives. The other positive for me is Baba Idrisu. Keep it simple, intercept, pass, and just make sure that he circulates the ball very well. And I think he did that today.
All right, so you heard Perez Ezra call. Let me read some few messages on Twitter, then we call it we end the show. Now, this one is coming from Randolph. He is saying that, so what are the 3 substitutes going to do different in less than 5 minutes? Coach Milovan is just a low-budget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This one is coming from Unruly King. He is saying that with these players and their coach, we can never ever bring any trophy to our motherland, Ghana. If Gabon plays 0-0 draw and Ghana win their next game by 2-0 or more, then we will surely qualify. The calculation begins. This one also, and a video, people are circulating video of Sarkodie watching the game and pouring out his frustrations when Ghana conceded that goal. I'm saying this again. This one is coming from Welbeck. I'm saying this again. Milo is never going to be the man we knew. He clearly saw that the game needed fresh legs, but he ignored low-budget Frank Lampard. This one is coming from Emmanuel Ayamga. Ayamga was on the show. Ayamga saying that he's disappointed in the performance. Brian, and the last one, as Black Stars disappoint, over to you, Ragnick, and let the Gengen President Steven Gerrard begin this evening. And this is how we end our live commentary coverage on Ghana's opening game in Group C. The game ended not in favor of the Black Stars, but hoping that our subsequent games against Gabon and the new debutant Comoros, we can beat them hands down and book our place in the knockout stage. The operation is still on. #BreakThe40. My name is Joel Leshen. I did this with senior journalist at GhanaWeb, Perez Ezwakwao, and we're joined on Zoom by Emmanuel Ayamga of Pulse Ghana. We'll be back right here tomorrow with a game between the Pharaohs of Egypt and the Super Eagles of Nigeria at 4 p.m. kickoff time. Until we meet again, it's bye for now.